You can't plan your life. It's not how it is, and you have to just be willing to go with what happens.
You know what it is? It's about being happy on your own no matter what.
All right, gossip lovers, it's time, y'all. Settle in, because we're about to spill some serious tea. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, Bennifer 2.0, have officially called it quits again. I know, y'all probably know that already, but honestly, it feels like yesterday when we all saw them rekindle their romance, turning their love story into the comeback of the decade. The fairy tale wedding, the red carpet moments, the over-the-top PDA. It had all the makings of a Hollywood happily ever after. But guess what? Reality had other plans. And here's the kicker. Ben Affleck is thriving. Sources close to the actor say he hasn't been this stress-free in years. He's reportedly happier than ever, keeping his distance from J-Lo, and plot twist, getting real comfortable with his ex-wife Jennifer Garner again. That's right, the man has been laughing, hugging, and co-parenting like a pro. And some fans are even wondering, are they just friendly exes, or is there something more?
She definitely brings the average up.
So what really went down between J-Lo and Ben? What caused their relationship to crash and burn again? And where does Jennifer Garner fit into all of this? Buckle up, because we're about to break down every messy detail of this Hollywood heartbreak. Trust us, you do not want to miss this tea.
I think on so many different levels, women in relationships, we have a tendency to give ourselves away so much. You can gain control again, even when you do fall so in love with somebody. You know what I mean? And I think that's an important message for everybody, for all women.
If you thought Ben Affleck, the super cool Batman, would be sulking over this breakup, think again. The man is thriving, stress-free, and moving on like it's just another Tuesday. According to sources, Ben hasn't felt this good in years. And let's be real, after all the drama that came with this marriage, we totally get it. So what's Ben up to these days? Living his best life, apparently. He's been in a great mood, focused on his career, and more importantly, keeping his distance from J-Lo. That's right, insiders say he has no interest in maintaining a close friendship with his ex. If it's not about their kids, he's not picking up the phone. You know what that means? He's done. No drawn-out emotional statements, no cryptic Instagram posts, just a clean break. And honestly, it seems to be working for him. Meanwhile, J-Lo is still making headlines. Whether it's through interviews, her music, or her latest projects, she's ensuring the world knows her side of the story. But Ben, he's playing it cool. No drama, no looking back. Just a man embracing his newfound freedom, just like Batman would.
I've always, for better or for worse, have followed my heart.
And if you're wondering whether Ben is feeling even a little bit of regret, sources say absolutely not. In fact, the Oscar-winning actor is more excited than ever about this next chapter of his life. No more red carpet stress, no more paparazzi-fueled drama, just peace, quiet, and a fresh start. And let's not forget, he's been spending a lot of time with Jennifer Garner. Coincidence? Maybe, but we'll get to that tea in just a minute. At first, Bennifer 2.0 was giving us peak Hollywood romance, from the second chance love story and the stunning Vegas wedding to that fairy tale Georgia ceremony. We ate it up. Everything seemed perfect. J-Lo was gushing in interviews. Ben looked happier than he had in years, and fans were convinced that this time it was forever.
Whenever someone asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, my answer was always in love.
But behind the scenes, it turned out that it was a whole different story. The cracks started showing early, but the Bennifer shippers didn't seem to notice. Or maybe they just chose not to. But by the time 2024 rolled in, it was clear this wasn't the dream romance everyone thought it was. From day one, J-Lo wanted to share their love story with the world. Her social media posts, her interviews, even her documentary. Everything screamed, "Look at us, we made it." But Ben, he wasn't feeling it. In her own documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, Affleck admitted he hates public attention, especially when it comes to his relationships. He made it clear that being in the spotlight 24/7 was not his thing, and yet he found himself right back in the whirlwind of J-Lo's media empire. Talk about major red flags. By early 2024, things went from glamorous to ghost town. Fans started noticing the couple barely appeared together anymore. No joint red carpet moments, no cute couple pics on social media, no paparazzi loved up strolls. Everything was dead silence, and silence in Hollywood is a message in in itself. Within a few weeks, news spread that Batman and his woman were living completely separate lives. Sources confirmed that Ben had moved into one of their other properties while J-Lo stayed in their main home, and when Mother's Day rolled around, they didn't even spend it together. At that point, the writing was on the wall. A lot of people don't know this, but it's not really a secret that J-Lo and Ben are total opposites of each other personality-wise. They're both celebrities, but on a different scale, and the same can be said of how they approach their superstar status. Jennifer thrives in the spotlight. She's a performer, a social butterfly, someone who needs to share her world with fans. Ben is the complete opposite. He's a private guy, someone who prefers quiet, low-key moments over flashing cameras. At first, it seemed like they had found a balance, which is super rare for such contrasting personalities. But as time went on, the reality set in. Their worlds didn't mix. One insider put it best: Ben hates all attention, and it makes him very uncomfortable. Jennifer has always had a different approach. That difference caused tension between them. Even though Ben admired J-Lo's passion and work ethic, it wasn't the life he wanted, and all that tension, it built up until it was too much. But you know the most heartbreaking part of it all? J-Lo really tried. According to sources, she put in all the effort to make their marriage work. She adjusted, compromised, and fought for their relationship. But Ben, he had already checked out. But one thing you should note is that when it comes to Hollywood celebrity drama, take everything you hear with a pinch of salt, because you never know who's controlling the narrative, which means the truth isn't always as it seems. But from everything we heard from insider sources, it eventually became clear Ben wasn't putting in the effort anymore. And for J-Lo, that was the breaking point. On the second anniversary of their famous Georgia wedding, she officially filed for divorce. And just like that, Bennifer 2.0 was over. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Ever since the split, Ben Affleck has been closer than ever with his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner. And we're not just talking about co-parenting duties. This is giving old flames reigniting energy. Let's break it down, starting with the birthday party that got everyone talking. The internet went wild when photos surfaced of Ben and Jen at their son Samuel's birthday party. And these weren't just friendly exes saying hello. Oh no. Ben was spotted grabbing Garner's waist as she leaned in to take a shot during a paintball game. The two were laughing, whispering, and looking incredibly comfortable together. Fans couldn't help but notice how relaxed Ben looked, something we didn't always see when he was with J-Lo. Sources say Ben and Jen have been spending a lot of time together behind the scenes. They talk almost daily and have built an even stronger bond since Ben split from J-Lo. And honestly, the way they interact, it's giving an old love never dies vibe. People who have seen them together say there's an undeniable warmth between them, the kind you just don't fake. Now officially, there's no confirmation that they're back together. Insiders say they're just co-parenting like pros and that their friendship has deepened. But let's be real, this kind of energy, it's not just friendly exes vibes. And here's the kicker: J-Lo apparently doesn't care. Sources close to the superstar claim she isn't bothered by the photos of Ben and Jennifer Garner hugging. Really? Really? Let's be honest, who wouldn't feel some type of way about seeing their ex get all smiley and cozy with the woman he was married to for a decade? Well, according to insiders, J-Lo isn't sweating it. She's too busy moving on with her career and focusing on herself, or at least that's what she wants us to believe. One source put it like this: Jennifer Garner knows what this is and what it's not. There's no drama, no betrayal, just two people who know each other really well. Still, the optics aren't great. After a high-profile breakup, the last thing you want is for the world to start shipping your ex and his previous wife again. So, what's next? Are we witnessing the Ben and Jen 1.0 comeback tour? Or are they just solidifying their friendship post-divorce? One thing's for sure, Hollywood will be watching. For J-Lo though, this breakup was a gut punch. Sources close to her say she was completely heartbroken and disappointed because she truly believed in their second chance. She saw Ben as her great love story, the one that got away, only to return when the timing was finally right. She invested everything into this relationship, emotionally and publicly. So when it all fell apart, it hit hard. And she's not hiding it. In a brutally honest interview, J-Lo admitted that this breakup almost took her out for good. That's how much she was hurting. One insider put it bluntly: she gave her all to this marriage, and watching it crumble, knowing she couldn't fix it, was devastating. But here's the thing about Jennifer Lopez: she doesn't stay down for long. If there's one thing J-Lo knows how to do, it's turning pain into power, and she's doing just that. Expect J-Lo's next album to be her most personal yet. She's already been in the studio, channeling her heartbreak into raw, emotional lyrics. You're about to see why they call her the Queen of Comebacks. For those who don't know, know, every major heartbreak in J-Lo's life has marked a new era for her, and this one is no different. Expect a total rebrand, new music, new looks, and possibly even a whole new outlook on love. And let's not forget, she's already getting attention from other A-list men. Hollywood's most eligible bachelors are lining up, knowing J-Lo is back on the market. But what happens next? Well, one thing's for sure, this Hollywood love story may be over, but the headlines are far from finished. What do you think? Is Ben better off single, or was this just another case of bad timing? Should we be preparing for a Jennifer Garner reunion, or is Ben done with relationships for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because we know you have opinions. And don't forget, Hollywood never stops serving tea, and we'll be right here ready to spill it. Stay tuned for the next chapter, because if history tells us anything, this drama is far from over.